Bless your souls, brothers and sisters. Welcome to English 150. I'm Brother Allen. I'm your instructor. I am super excited to be your teacher, and I'm so excited to learn with you this semester. We're going to become better readers and writers and thinkers and communicators, and then we're going to use those skills to further God's work here on the earth. It's going to be fantastic. I'm so excited to get to know you. But it's week 1, and it's time for a world-famous Brother Allen weekly walkthrough video. So let's get going, and let's talk about what you need to do on week 1, when things are due, and I'm going to give you some little tips and tricks along the way. So we're always splitting up these weeks between midweek assignments and end-of-week assignments. So your midweek assignments are going to be due on Wednesday. Your end of week assignments are going to be due on Friday. We have several things. It looks like a lot this week, but a lot of them are little quizzes, and most of the quizzes in this class are open book. We have a couple discussion boards. We're signing up for an instructor conference. So here we go. Let's dive in and let's talk about what's going on. The first thing is you need to read over this page. It's a unit overview of the change essay. The change essay is a piece of narrative nonfiction. It's creative nonfiction, and it's a really great essay. My master's degree is in creative writing, so I feel like I'm posed in a great place to really help you with this piece of writing. Later in this week, I will send an announcement out with some additional tips to help you as you're starting to think about your change essay. And so you're going to read through this. There is a quiz later about the information on this page. It's open book though, so you should be able to get 100%. The next thing is a quiz. It's a commitment to write with integrity. This is really important because if you look down here, if you choose not to respond with a signature to the final question, you should know that none of your work in this class will be accepted or graded. So they're really serious about this. The English department at BYU Idaho has given these 3 policy bullet points that I want to talk about really quickly. And I'm sure that in some of your higher level courses, your instructors will probably say, yeah, you can use AI. But for these general education classes, especially this writing class, they don't want you to use AI to write things for you, right? So let's kind of go through quickly these policies. So here's the first little bit I want to talk about. The students may not use generative AI or LLMs to compose or revise any of the major assignments in their GE writing classes. This restriction applies to assignments and or texts of any length from short phrases and sentences to entire passages. So we're not using Gemini to write things for us. We're not using ChatGPT. We're not using any of those AI tools. We're not using Grammarly to fix things. I would just take Grammarly off my computer. I did it a while ago because it just messes things up. Every single writing tool, Word, Microsoft Word, Google Docs, they all have things to help you with spelling, punctuation, capitalization, but you're doing the writing, right? You're not revising. You're not asking it to do any revising for you. You're not asking it to do any composing. You are writing every single word. And if it's not perfect, I'm okay with that. I am okay if your piece is not perfect. You are a human. And as long as it doesn't mess with understanding and I can still read it and get your gist, I'm going to be really happy when I'm grading your piece. The other thing I want to talk about this is they do say right here, students may use software or AI tools to fix minor errors in mechanics, i.e. punctuation, spelling, and capitalization. When I think of those tools, I'm thinking about the tools that are already built in to Google Docs and Microsoft Word. They have robust tools to help you with punctuation, spelling, and capitalization. I don't think Grammarly is a good tool to be using because it's using AI to fix it for you rather than helping you to understand. The other thing that some students think they might do is they'll take their essay, they'll copy it, they'll paste it into Gemini or into ChatGPT, and they'll say, fix my punctuation, spelling, and capitalization. Then they copy it and paste it back into their document. You can't do that, brothers and sisters. That is having AI rewrite your entire paper for you, because it doesn't go and fix things one thing at a time. It goes and it is going to go line by line and retype things out. So if you're struggling with a sentence, ask me. I'm happy to help you with sentence level stuff. The other thing you could do is, if you can't get it through the tools that are already built into your word processor, maybe take that sentence and type it into ChatGPT or Gemini and ask it how to fix it. And then you go and type it into your document. And we're just doing that on like one or two things. We're not doing that for the entire paper, right? I'm really serious about this. The college is really serious about this. The English department is really serious about this. You can't use AI in this course. So no using it to compose or revise. I wouldn't use it even to fix minor errors. I'm okay with minor errors. This next one is, you are not going to use it to paraphrase or make summaries for research. You're not going to have it read for you, right? That's the big thing for the second one. You need to do your own reading, especially when we're doing research, because we have a big research paper. You need to be able to understand the sources. Don't have it do the reading for you. Then the last one is, they should not upload assignment sheets or peer work into LLMs without approval. This is like your peer reviews. I've had in a couple semesters ago, I had some students that were asking AI to do the peer review for them. You learn by doing a peer review, so don't do that. So you want to make sure that you are not using AI in this course. I'm really serious about it. This quiz, remember, you have to respond with a signature to the final question, or none of your work will be accepted or graded. You can take this quiz multiple times until you receive 100%. And this one is going to keep your highest score. Some of the other ones don't do that, other quizzes, but this one does. So you are going to take this as many times as you want until you get the right answers. And all the answers are right here, right? Okay, so we'll talk more about AI later. I'm really passionate about it. I really want to make sure that we do a good job. Let's keep going, though, with our walkthrough. So here's the second one, second quiz. And this is over that unit overview. It is open book. So you can have that page open, this page, right? And get the answers from it. The scores, you can take it as many times as you want, but the scores are going to be averaged. So every time you take it, you're changing your overall score. So I would just try to get it all on the first try, right? And get 100% because it's open book. Then the next thing we have to do is a discussion board for your brainstorming ideas for our change essay, right? We're using this formula. But the way you want to think about this is you want to have like moments in your piece. So you want to think about, okay, at first I thought this, and then here's a moment that I could show where I was thinking that, and I changed my mind and thought this, and here is a moment that I could show to demonstrate that change of thought, right? You're going to do an initial post where you have two ideas, and then you're going to respond to at least two of your classmates. To get the full points, you have to do the responding to at least two classmates, and they give you some ideas as to what you could write about. Okay, so you're going to do your initial post by middle of the week, and you're going to do your end of the week. You can do the replies by the end of the week, right? So here's the next thing. Then you have another discussion, an icebreaker discussion. This one is a little different. So you're going to talk about, your initial post is going to be kind of an introduction to yourself. And it gives you some ideas of what you want to do. It asks you to include a picture of a video of yourself as possible. I love the pictures. It's like my favorite part of these icebreaker discussions. And then once again, you're going to respond to at least two of your classmates. And this is another one of those things where you're going to do the initial post by middle of the week, and you're going to respond to your two classmates by the end of the week to get the full points. Then you have a quiz for course navigation. Once again, this one's 14 points. And it's not timed, it's open resource, so you can navigate all over the course in another tab and get all the answers. You do not get multiple attempts, but this should be easy because it's open book, right? Okay, everyone's going to get 100% on that. The next one is how to annotate readings. Annotating readings, I know sometimes kids don't want to do it because they're like, oh, I got to mark up the text. It's really, really good to mark up the text. And they're trying to train you so that when you start doing your own research for the research paper, you'll be annotating those things as well. So there is some resources to check out. You're going to read this and you're going to read the annotation tips. There's like a video here. You're going to take the quiz. You can take the quiz as many times as you want. The scores are averaged together, and everyone should get 100% on that one too. Then, after you do that, you have your first annotated reading. So this one is storytelling, narration, and the who I am story. So here, you're going to take the quiz first. We just talked about that. You're going to read storytelling, narration, and the who I am story. Here's the articles. There's different versions of them. I really like it when students use the annotating tools in Canvas. I rarely have problems using the Canvas doc viewer, right? Sometimes if students annotate outside of the Canvas system, I have a hard time seeing their annotations, and we have to go back and forth to get the right file. So if it were me, I would just annotate here in Canvas. It's a really good system, and it makes it easier for me. And you have all these instructions. So I would make sure you do all of these things on your document to make sure you get the full points on the annotation assignment. So there's that one. Then this is just a reminder that your discussion responses are due. And then the last thing on here is there's an assignment to sign up for an instructor conference, which we will be doing very soon. When you get to this page, it'll look a little different because I will have added something. You can see like instructor, insert the link. I just haven't done that yet. And there will be like some more instructions from me, and you'll go and you'll sign up for a time slot. We'll be talking about your change essay and what questions you have about drafting the change essay during this conference. And it's just to get to know you. We only do this one conference in class, so it's a one-time deal. And I think that that's it, brothers and sisters. So let's just go back to the overview, and you can see that during this week, you have these things that are due by the middle of the week. You have that commitment to write with integrity. You have a quiz over the unit overview. You have 2 discussion boards to do some initial posts by midweek and then to reply to people by the end of the week. There's a course navigation quiz. There's how to annotate readings quiz. There is an annotated reading. And then there's an assignment to sign up for an instructor conference with me. As always, brothers and sisters, if you have any questions for me, please reach out, message me in Canvas in the inbox over here. I will respond to you as quickly as I can, and I'll help you with things. Bless your souls. This is going to be a fantastic semester, and have a great week. Talk to you later. Bye.